Alright, guys, welcome back. So the rumors about the PlayStation 5 Slim are now officially true, as PlayStation has announced their new Slim models for both the disc version and the digital edition. You could take a look at the consoles here. I mean, they're very similar in terms of the design of them. A little bit more of a popping out of the disk drive when it comes to the physical version or the disc version of the console itself, but the slim version obviously very similar. Also has that horizontal line going through halfway up the console itself. But here is the official announcement. You can take a look at. I mean, to me, the design of the PlayStation 5 from the very beginning wasn't very good, and this here isn't very much better for my opinion. It is smaller. They say that the new PS5 has been reduced in volume by more than 30% and by weight by 18% and 24% compared to the previous models. Now, what is cool, one thing I actually do like is they are giving you that option that you can detach the disk drive if you don't want it. You can get rid of that bulk, and I'm assuming you're going to be able to put on the bottom half of the digital version onto your physical disk drive version if that's what you want to do. So that's cool. Obviously, they have to keep disk drive there because of all the physical games that they still do sell and the physical games that people have purchased. But again, this was something in the rumors that they were going to be doing, and here is the actual official thing. Now, the most interesting thing here, well, the disk drive price is going to be 80 US dollars if you do want to add it on to your console. But the other most interesting thing here is the fact that they actually increased the price of the digital version of the PlayStation 5. So it has less parts, doesn't have a disk drive, yet it is now $50 more, and you're forced to go out there and stay within the Sony ecosystem, PSN, through their store to purchase all of your stuff. It's always been a weird thing here. Digital games, digital versions of everything, you would think would cost less because they're producing less to get it to the customers, and just in terms of games with cases and discs and all that stuff. But we haven't seen that happen yet. Digital games essentially are still the same price. And PS5 here raising the price of the digital version of the PlayStation 5 really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It is going to be retailing here for 450 US dollars versus I believe previously it was 400 US dollars. And then the PS5 with the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive is $500. I don't know why you would want to get the digital version. It just doesn't make any sense to me for $50 less when the actual disc drive itself is $80. It makes zero sense to me why you would ever really want to do that. Just get it with the disk drive and then take it off, and you're going to be ending off better here with this new PS5 digital. Now, like I said, I think the design is terrible. I still think or at least the design of the original PS5 is terrible. I still think the design of this PS5 is terrible. And one of the main reasons why I do think that is because they are still having that stupid stand that you have to have if you do want it vertical, and with the current PS5 if you even want it horizontal. Now they have gotten rid of that circular stand. If you want to place your PS5 horizontal, they have this little notch here that you can see pops out. Who knows how flimsy that thing is going to be. But if you do actually want this stand here to hold your PS5 vertically, I think a lot of people have their PS5s vertically. You're actually going to have to go out there and pay $30 to add a stand to it. You can't just turn your console upright and have it be fine like you have with the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, both horizontally and vertically. You get to choose how you want it. You don't have to go out and buy an additional stand. And they're going to be adding that in. So all of this, I mean, not surprising that this announcement has happened. It's been in the rumors for a while. It is finally here. And again, I just think that the design of the PS5 this generation has been pretty bad all around, and things aren't changing. Now, when it comes to PlayStation 5 console bundles, as we know, PlayStation was able to get Call of Duty for many years now and really use it to their advantage to get people to go out and buy the console. And they made a ton of money off of Call of Duty. When they were trying to block the Activision Blizzard acquisition, they were complaining about the advantages that Xbox would have, which would be getting people over to Xbox and not really wanting to play it on PlayStation because of exclusive content. And one of the things that PlayStation has done over the last number of Call of Duties is have exclusive content. The hypocrisy has been pretty crazy with that, with their arguments trying to block the Activision Blizzard acquisition. But They are continuing here now with another Modern Warfare 3 PlayStation 5 console bundle, which will include the PlayStation exclusive lockpick operator pack, which you're only getting on the PlayStation consoles, not going to be on the Xbox. And this is exactly what they were complaining about could potentially happen when the Activision Blizzard acquisition does close, when they've been doing it all along. But this will be releasing on November 10th, 2023. And you get that timed PlayStation exclusive DLC for Modern Warfare 3. And one thing they do say here is that PS4 and PS5 players who pre-order Modern Warfare 3 through the PlayStation 4 will receive the lockpick operator pack when the game also does release. So all of this content is going to be exclusive, and this will be the last time. If you're an Xbox fan and you're wondering why can't you get certain types of content, you won't have to be wondering about that anymore going forward for the next upcoming Call of Duties and stuff, as they are getting ready to close the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Now, when it comes to Activision Blizzard and Xbox, one of Activision's big titles that was huge during PS2, PS3, OG Xbox, Xbox 360 era was Guitar Hero. And Guitar Hero rhythm based games, music games like this with these instrument peripherals have been dead for a while now. You don't really see people talking about them or playing them, but I think there could still be a market out there for them. And I would love to see them bring it back and get people hyped up and just kind of revitalize the Guitar Hero industry, the Guitar Hero market. And it looks like Bobby Kotick is potentially thinking about that happening when the Activision Blizzard acquisition closes. This is something that he says here with WindowsCentral.com. He says the reemergence of Guitar Hero and other things would not be possible without different types of resources that are just incredibly exciting. Essentially, I guess insinuating here that because Microsoft has a ton more resources, they're a bigger company, they're going to be able to give that opportunity to be able to revitalize and revive Guitar Hero. And one thing when it does come to Xbox and Xbox first party studios is they give their studios a chance to take risks and try things that potentially may not work. For example, with Bleeding Edge from Ninja Theory, that arena third person action game that absolutely was a good game, but just didn't work. Nobody played it, nobody wanted it. They had to shut it down right away. And they will definitely, I think, be willing to do this when the Activision Blizzard studios do come over. Maybe we'll see some more variety from Activision Studios. Maybe we'll see a longer break between Call of Duties. All of those types of things I think could be potential possibilities when Activision does close on this deal, which is supposed to be happening on Friday, but we will wait and see. The deadline to close is October 18th. So Friday or not, it's right around the corner and it should be coming. Now, when it comes to acquisitions, they are going to be continuing. Gaming is massive. And one of the things that is very interesting that popped up yesterday was looks like Disney is trying to become a much bigger player in the gaming industry, not just somebody who gives their IPs off to third parties to create games for all the platforms, but it's looking like they potentially may want to become a company that directly competes with the biggest players out there. As there is this report here from Bloomberg, and it says this: a couple of offers have been floated for Disney's TV assets. Byron Allen texted Iger a 10 billion bid for ABC and its other TV channels, while Netflix Media Group was in exploratory talks for the news network, but neither deal is likely to go through. ESPN agreed to a sports betting deal with a down-market casino operator, Penn Entertainment, that will pay Disney as much as 1.5 billion over a decade. For years, Iger insisted Disney couldn't get into gambling because of reputational concerns. Now it seems like one way to plug holes, Iger deputies are pushing him to consider a bolder transformation of Disney from gaming licensee to gaming giant through, say, an acquisition of Electronic Arts. But as with everything else, he's been non-committal. So that would be crazy to see if they actually did purchase EA. I don't know if I would be for this. I feel like EA is on a pretty good streak right now with some of the games and studios that they do have, especially with games studios like Respawn and when the Star Wars series. We also did see a tease that potentially Titanfall 3 may be getting an announcement on October 27th, and we'll wait and see if that happens. But there are so many. EA's on a upward trajectory, in my opinion, with the games that they have been releasing and improving. Is way different than where they were a few years ago, where they were only Remember, they were infamous for saying that nobody really wants single player games anymore. They were focusing on loot boxes with the whole battle front debacle, all that type of stuff. And they've kind of changed their way in a lot of good ways here. And Disney coming in here potentially could disrupt that, but we'll see. Gaming is huge; it's continuing to grow. Acquisitions are going to be fast and furious over the next number of years as these big companies try to continue to position themselves. I don't think Xbox is done acquiring. Sony's not done acquiring, and there are going to be bigger players out there that want to get a piece of the pie, which is gaming, whether that's in mobile gaming or console gaming or PC, all of that type of stuff. There's just so much money there to be made, and I think it's too juicy to ignore for a company like Disney. We'll see. Maybe they will go out and make a bid for EA. Now, when it comes to Xbox Game Pass, one of the best things about these service is it gets games that people ignored when they first released to start trying them out and playing them again, and potentially introduce people to something they would have never played before. And we do have some engagement numbers here from Matt Piscatella from Circana's player engagement tracker. And now this is specifically for Gotham Knights, and we know the story with Gotham Knights when it did originally release. Very highly anticipated game. 30 FPS announcement for the consoles pretty much killed a lot of the hype for it for a lot of people. Reviews are very mediocre to poor. So a lot of people just didn't end up playing it, but it has now launched into Xbox Game Pass, and it looks like that has got people talking about it and trying the game out again. It says here from Circana's player engagement tracker, US video game sub spending growth may be slowing, but inclusion in services like Game Pass can have a huge engagement impact. Over 6% of all Xbox Series players played Gotham Knights during the week of October 1st, up from 0.3% the week prior. I mean, that is a big jump. It's essentially a 6% jump across all Xbox Series players, and that is absolutely because of that announcement of it coming to Xbox Game Pass and it being in the service. And I think a lot of companies, third parties will see this and say, if we want to get people to check out our game after it's been dead for a while, let's put it into Game Pass. That means we're probably going to get bigger releases from third parties later on after their official launch, which I'm completely okay with. It was cool to see Gotham Knights drop into this service, and it's one of those games that I didn't play when it came out of launch, and I will be checking it out now that it is in Xbox Game Pass. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.